Hey, cat lovers, here's a question for you. Have you ever caught your cat in a totally awkward moment? Maybe they knocked something over, got stuck in a bag, or had one of those ungraceful tumbles. They look at you like they know something went wrong, but do they actually feel embarrassment? It's a question that's puzzled cat owners for ages. We've all seen those oops moments. But is it just us projecting human emotions onto our furry friends, or could cats actually experience embarrassment the way we do? Stick around as we unravel the mystery behind this and explore what might really be going on in your cat's head. Look at this, your cat does something completely unexpected, like knocking over a glass, and then pauses, staring at you. It almost seems like they're trying to avoid eye contact, maybe feeling like they messed up. But is it truly embarrassment, or something else entirely? Let's dive into the science and behavior of cats to understand what's happening. Before we can explore whether cats feel embarrassed, we need to understand their emotional world. Can cats actually experience emotions? You might be surprised to learn that cats do have emotions, just like humans. Scientists have discovered that cats share the same emotional centers in their brains that humans do, which means they're capable of feeling things like joy, fear, and even anxiety. But embarrassment, as we know it, might not be one of those emotions. So, what do cats actually feel when they experience something awkward? Embarrassment is a complex emotion. It's typically triggered by a social mistake or a violation of some kind of social norm. Humans feel embarrassment when we think we've done something wrong in front of others. But here's the kicker. Cats don't have the same social structures we do. They don't care if they knock something off the table or get caught doing something goofy. While they can feel anxiety or fear, true embarrassment requires an understanding of social expectations, and cats simply don't operate in that way. So what we interpret as embarrassment might actually be something entirely different. Have you ever caught your cat doing something embarrassing, like slipping off the couch or getting caught in a box that's way too small for them? You might notice that they immediately start grooming themselves or walk away slowly. You might think, oh, they're embarrassed. But here's the truth. This behavior is actually more about self-soothing than feeling humiliated. When cats groom themselves, they're calming their nerves. It's a coping mechanism, not a sign of shame. Similarly, walking away or pretending nothing happened is their way of moving on from something that startled them rather than dwelling on it like we might. Let's look at how cats see themselves in their own world. Cats are territorial creatures, and a lot of their behavior is about asserting dominance or maintaining their social standing. So, if your cat does something a little awkward, it's not necessarily a sign of embarrassment. It could just be a momentary lapse in their usual confident demeanor. They may act aloof afterward, but that's often about reasserting control over their environment. It's their way of saying, I'm still the boss here, nothing to see. It's not about feeling embarrassed, more like reestablishing their own sense of control and confidence. Let's talk about stress. While cats may not experience embarrassment, they certainly deal with stress and anxiety. When a cat does something unexpected, like running into a wall or knocking over an object, they might withdraw or hide under the bed. But this isn't necessarily embarrassment. In fact, it's more likely that they're processing stress from the situation. For example, loud noises or sudden movements can throw them off balance, and they might retreat to feel safe again. This is not about shame. It's about comfort and self-regulation. Have you noticed your cat acting differently after a clumsy moment? Maybe they hide for a bit or seem a bit on edge. While this might look like embarrassment, it could be a sign of anxiety. Cats can experience anxiety, especially when their environment changes or something unexpected happens. Studies show that cats are sensitive to environmental stressors, and their reactions to these stressors can sometimes resemble embarrassment. But what they're really feeling is discomfort or nervousness. Let's take a moment to appreciate the playful nature of cats. They're curious creatures, and sometimes they get themselves into all kinds of predicaments, jumping into bags that are too small, chasing their tails, or leaping for a toy and missing completely. But do they feel embarrassed afterward? Not at all. In fact, many of these awkward moments are just part of their playful nature. If anything, they may just shake it off and move on to the next adventure. Cats learn through play, and they'll continue to explore and experiment without any sense of shame. While cats might not experience embarrassment, they do learn from their actions. If they knock something over and notice that you react negatively, they'll likely avoid doing that again in the future. However, this isn't due to embarrassment. It's just their way of understanding cause and effect. Cats are highly intelligent and adaptive creatures. They'll learn which behaviors lead to positive or negative outcomes. So, when your cat makes a mess and then avoids doing it again, it's not out of shame, it's because they figured out that certain actions have consequences. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever seen your cat do something that looked embarrassing? Did they react in a way that made you think they felt ashamed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to know what you think. So, do cats feel embarrassment? The answer is a bit more complicated than a simple yes or no. While cats experience a range of emotions, embarrassment in the human sense likely isn't one of them. What we interpret as embarrassment is often anxiety, stress, or just a natural reaction to a surprising or awkward situation. Understanding your cat's behavior helps you connect with them better. So next time they knock something over, just remember, they're not embarrassed. They're just being their curious, sometimes clumsy selves. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more fascinating cat content. And if you've got more questions or want to learn about other cat behaviors, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious, just like your cat.